It is my pleasure and honor to welcome Ebony Payne back to the show. We are going to speak about Peace Academy. We're going to dive in so people can understand and get a more clearer picture of what the mission is for Peace Academy. Welcome to the show, Ebony.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Ebony, tell me about the mission for Peace Academy.
So, Peace Academy Charter School is a K through 8 tuition-free public charter school. We are an inclusive community who celebrate our culture and heritage. We experience a holistic understanding of the impact that we have within this world. We want to expose our students to opportunities to help them build a positive awareness of their selves, so they can lead both within our community and beyond. And when we say holistic, what we really want to focus on is not just instruction, but we are focused on developing the whole child, so that we can cater to all of their being. Our mission, in order for us to get there, our mission is that our students will break records by leaving on or above grade level every single year, and that they're exposed to a complete curriculum. And a part of that curriculum includes an Afrocentric curriculum that will really push our students' awareness of their culture. We have a problem-based learning approach to academics, and so we really want to build our students' critical thinking. Every month, our students get a question that they get to learn about, dissect, and then solve on their own. And then the last part that really will help us achieve our vision is our connection to community. We deeply believe in community. This is a community-built school, and so we provide lots of opportunities for community members to feel welcomed into the school, but also for students to go into the community to learn about the community, and to continue to build their love for the community.
Okay, so what does the general public know about charter schools? So break down for the viewers, what's the difference between a charter school or just, we'll say, a school within the school district? What are the great benefits to a charter school?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We get this question all the time. The two main things that I want to emphasize here are charter schools are free and they provide more flexibility than some traditional schools. So when we say charter schools are free, they are tuition free, open to the public, no tuition is required. All students are able to attend regardless of their socioeconomic status. And in terms of flexibility, so charter schools are independently owned schools. Some of them are housed within the districts, and some of them are authorized by other agencies that are outside of the district. And no matter who they're authorized by, a charter school has a contract, and that school is able to determine what are the special or unique characteristics of this school that we want to put into this contract that may deviate from the traditional schools. So for example, Peace has, a part of our contract, we have a waiver for our school day. And so because of our unique programmatic features, we needed a little bit more time. So in our contract, we have a waiver that allows us to extend our school day beyond the traditional school. So there are different criteria that charters get. One of the things that I'll emphasize here is charter schools are always held to the same standards of traditional schools, but they offer more flexibility to be able to cater to individual students' needs.
So like a public school, say they're in a certain zip code and the child has to attend that public school in their neighborhood. Does that hold true for charter schools?
It depends. So when I mentioned that some charter schools can be authorized by their district, if a charter school is authorized by their district, then yes, only students within that district can attend. However, Peace has a statewide attendance zone. So students can attend Peace from all over the state of Georgia. So their district or their zip code does not matter in terms of attendance. because we are authorized by the state authorizer and not by a specific district.
Okay, so you started Peace Academy, is that true?
That's true. Yep.
How was that process for you, and what is the process to start your own charter school?
I don't even know if we have enough time to answer this question, but I'll try to sum it up. The first thing that I would say is if anyone is interested in looking into starting their charter school, the first thing I would do is to tell you to look at your state's charter school process, application process, your state and your district, because a lot of those vary. But the first step we took was community engagement. We spoke to hundreds of community members to ask them what they wanted in a school, to even get their opinions on if they wanted another school in this area. So as we spoke to different community members, we then started to form a school board. Many of them were community members. And as we had our school board, we then filled out the charter application. So this is a very detailed process. The authorizers want to know, are the founders familiar with what's required for obtaining of facilities, for working with service vendors, for understanding the curriculum and standards requirements, for knowing the laws surrounding supporting students. So the authorizers really want to know, do you understand that, and can you represent that in an application? So we completed our application. It was roughly 400 plus pages of detailed information about the school. After our application was approved, we then interviewed with the state. And during that time, the state wants to know maybe a few more details that were not that can be expounded on from the application. But what they really want to know is your board strong enough to properly govern the school? And so that's a time for our board to really demonstrate their understanding and belief and capacity to govern the school. And then, so we applied to a few different districts. Ultimately, the state charter school commission approved our charter. And then after they approved it, we then went before the Georgia Department of Education, and they approved us as a school. And so we were ready to go. And I would say the last thing is, throughout this process, funding was very high on the list. We had to fundraise every step of the way. Charter schools are not always given the same amount of funding as traditional schools. For example, here in Georgia, our charter schools are not able to receive the funding from local taxes. And so that decreases our funds. So we have to fundraise throughout. We also have to fundraise throughout before our school is open so that our staff members can begin building the school. So that's the process. Once we are approved, we then hit the ground running, making sure that we have our staff, our students, our building, a slew of other things in preparation for day one.
Okay, so we will speak about the fundraising piece. But before that, how do you get the word out that there's this new dynamic charter school in Georgia? How do you get that word out? How do you begin to recruit your students? And how many students do you need to actually open your door?
Mm-hmm. So I'll start on the back end. Our charter, when we wrote our charter, we asked for 165 students in year one. So that would be K through third grade. We wanted to start on a smaller level and then increase each year. So we would increase a grade each year. And that was what we wrote in our charter. So we were approved with that. And to get students, we've been going door to door. We've been doing a lot of canvassing, grassroots. We've done some direct mail. We have a social media marketing company that works on our behalf to really get the word out, because people don't even know that where we exist or that we're new. It's a lot of grassroots efforts, talking to every single family, having a lot of activities so that families understand and know that we are here. And it's very exciting and also a little nervous to know, okay, we have to go to each get all of these students. But ultimately, it's been a great pleasure meeting all of the families. We have a strong community. And our families also do a lot of recruiting for us. Once our families are on board and know what we offer, our families spread the word faster than my staff and I could even do.
That's awesome. So, do you have 155 enrolled? And if so, when will the doors open? And do you still have spots for open enrollment? If you do, how can parents enroll their children in Peace Academy?
Great question. So we do have a few spots left for our enrollment for our year 2023 opening. So for next fall, we have a few spots left. The first thing I would say is go on our website at peaceacademycharter.org, and the application is right there. It's very easy. It's a free application. It takes under 5 minutes to complete. And it just gives us some demographics. And then once we get that application, we'll then reach out to our parents. The new application opens September 1st for this year. So go through, apply. It's very easy. That is one of the things that I wanted to stress. I have a 6-year-old, and as who I am, I went through and started registering and applying, and I was completely overwhelmed. And so I wanted to make sure that the process was very easy and manageable for all families. So you can go directly to our website. Again, it's peaceacademycharter.org and fill out an application. You can even do it from your phone. It's under 5 minutes.
So are you still seeking staff, volunteers, board members at this time?
Yes. So we are still seeking all of those. We do have a great founding team of teachers who we've begun to hire already. We have a few additional spots open. Again, on our website, there is a section in the About Us that says Join Our Staff, and you can find the application there for staff members. Board members, yes, our board is actually just opened up candidacies or spaces for a few additional candidates. And so you can definitely, if you're interested in serving on the board, I would say this is one of the best ways for community members and also professionals who may not be in education, but they want to impact education to start to get that experience. And so our board is definitely still accepting nominations for board members, and you can reach our board at schoolboard@peaceacademycharter.org.
So can someone who is not a resident of Atlanta, Georgia, be a board member?
So based on our current state Georgia law, we cannot have board members who are not residents of Georgia. However, we can have advisory members or committee members who may not be in Georgia to serve within that capacity. You can't be an official board member, but you can definitely still serve through volunteering on a committee or an advisory committee, or donating, which is definitely a big way to give back.
Okay, so now let's dive into the fundraising piece. I know all too well about fundraising, which can be frustrating because sometimes you are putting on an event and you'll spend way more money than what you get back from the event, and it kind of hurts the agency or the organization. So I want you to please, Ebony, take your time. Tell us how important it is for the fundraising piece. Tell us where those dollars will go, how they will help the children, and then most importantly, please tell the viewers how they can donate to Peace Academy.
Mm-hmm. So this is a huge component of our school. So during this pre-opening phase, I'll start there. We are not funded by anyone during this pre-opening stage unless we have donors or grants. So in order to go from the petition writing stage, which took years, through the opening stage, we had to be able to raise enough money to have salaries, to do the marketing that we needed to do the student recruitment events and the staff recruitment events. All of that takes money that only comes from donors and grants. So that is a huge component that I cannot express enough, that I did not actually know. And so you may see schools raising money, and the first thought is, well, the government provides funds, but it's a lot of, it's some things behind the curtains that we don't know as typical community members. The second part that I would share is, even outside of the pre-opening phase, during the full year, we still are required to raise funds because our programs typically cost more than the state provides for our students. So one example I mentioned is the local state taxes. We don't get that money. The second thing that I would mention is, because we have unique charter programmatic features, we have to be able to fund those, right? And so if a traditional school is funding this math, science, reading, language arts, et cetera, with that money, and we're saying we want to do that and more, we want to provide field experiences to our students where they take field trips every month, we have to be able to fund those extra parts of our program. And so that's where the fundraising comes in, for us to supplement what the state and the government provides for us. The last thing that I'll say here around fundraising is, as a charter school, especially charter schools who are not attached to districts, who are not authorized by districts, we have to find our own facilities. So we have to find our facilities, and oftentimes that means renovating existing buildings. Maybe it's a church or maybe it's a store, but renovating, and that costs money that, again, we don't have right now, and so we have to fundraise. And so it is extremely important for our community to build the school that we want, and that means donating when you can, to the extent that you can. And so Peace, we have a donation link directly on our site where it is very easy. You can donate on a one-time experience, or you can donate monthly, but we do have multiple fundraising campaigns, because our community our school cannot exist without our community providing some financial support.
So what is your goal? Do you have a goal in 2022, or do you have a goal for 2023? What is your fundraising goal?
Yes, so our school board actually just confirmed for 2020, for the FY23 school year, so this current school year, we have a $2 million fundraising goal. This will allow us to properly support all of our instructional materials, all of our community experiences, and our facilities renovation projects. So we do have a $2 million goal for this upcoming school year, and that is going to be, you can donate directly from our website, as well as joining our community list, our list, so we can give you information on how to donate and how to support Peace overall.
It's important that we understand how important education is. And it is important that we love on our children, because gun violence is affecting every part of the world right now. You can hear by the passion that Ebony has, that she wants to educate all of the children that walk through the doors of Peace Academy. So it's very important for you to go onto that website. It's very important for you to donate, so we can educate our children and we can offer them genuine love, so we can decrease and possibly stop the gun violence that is occurring all across America, all across the world. Ebony, what positive message do you have for those parents that are in Atlanta, Georgia, and they're looking for that school that will take their little one to the next level, that will offer them just education beyond belief? What words of encouragement do you have for those parents?
Mm-hmm. Well, just hearing your last statement is one of the reasons why we started Peace. We deeply believe that if love is not at the center of everything that we do, then we're not doing the right thing. So many people are hurting right now. So many people are bent, almost broken right now. And what restores them is love. And sometimes, in many cases, we can get that from our family members, but many times the people who are giving that genuine love to students are our educators. Those are the ones who are providing the resources when parents or systems don't show up. And so at Peace, we are a loving, inclusive community of excellence. Those are our core values. We deeply believe that every interaction we have with our children is meant to uplift them. We are not here to belittle them. We are here to love on them and help them learn. But children will only reach their best selves when their basic needs are met. And love is definitely a basic need. And we are intending to provide that. We are providing that in our Peace community.
So Peace Academy, it is an African-centered school. So does it mean that just African-American children are able to enroll, or any child of any race can enroll?
So we welcome all children. Our basic premise is that we are providing an educational experience that is centered around the needs of our students, that incorporates an Afrocentric curriculum. But what we also know is our community will incorporate students who are not Black. We have a cultural studies course every day, and the center of that cultural studies course is an Afrocentric curriculum, but it's also inclusive of the other cultures within our school and within our community. And so what we're saying is we are not removing any other cultures from our curriculum. We are centering an Afrocentric curriculum within our community, because oftentimes many charter schools serve predominantly Black children, and oftentimes many curricular materials do not center Black and brown faces. And so we welcome all children, and we believe that our Black and brown children will benefit from this curriculum, and we also believe that white children will benefit from this curriculum as well. We need everyone in the world to be able to understand the power and the contributions that Blacks and African Americans and many other cultures have been able to contribute to our country. And so every child is welcomed, but we are strong in our support and focus on the needs of Black and brown children.
Thank you so much, Ebony. I know Peace Academy will be successful, and I know all of the students will receive a great education. Ebony, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm glad to have been here. And again, if anyone is interested, please go to our website, peaceacademycharter.org, and reach out to me if you have any questions.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please remember, education is key, and education is the most important thing that will take all of us to the next level, the level of excellence. Thank you so much for joining me today.